All right, party people. I got 3 steps to create a brand that can hopefully, just kidding, it'll win you clients overnight. Big thing I struggled with starting out as a designer was like I did not know what to do for my brand. I could barely write a bio on Tinder. So, that's why I'm asking you is like, do you want to create a brand that clients can't forget and get all that done in one night? I mean, that sounds great. So whether you're an individual like me, an entrepreneur, I kind of like to think of myself as one, even though everybody says they're one these days, or a business. So I've got 3 simple steps. It's worked for me. Maybe it could work for you. And it'll help you stand out and win with clients and keep your brand cohesive. So it's a memorable, captivating, enriching brand that can take you from 0 to 100. And I guarantee you that you go into the store now and you're purchasing something for that brand. Whether it's the soap you buy or the shaver for your head, who knows? Brand is powerful. We all know that. So as I mentioned, when I was starting out, I knew I needed a brand. I had no idea what the hell I should do for my brand. So what did I do? Yeah, I used my lovely sense of humor, like always. It's that sense of humor that does get me in trouble sometimes. And, I just thought, like, hey, in the wild, people are like, whoa, you're huge. Oh, you play football? Like, no, I didn't. I sucked at school. I had to focus on it. So I picked the fact that I'm bald and that I'm giant, just a giant bald guy. And I ran with it. So that's where my branding started. It doesn't have to be, a super hard thing to think of. It can be super simple. So the point is just don't overstressed if you're running your own gig or something like that. Obviously, if you have a Fortune 500 company, there's going to be a lot more thinking that goes behind creating a brand. But let's dial it down a notch. Let's simplify things. So, am I the Mr. Clean guy? No. But the Mr. Clean guy is a great example of a memorable brand. So creating a brand isn't about necessarily picking a name or slapping on a cool logo. It's about building a connection, a vibe that, resonates with your audience on a personal level. So especially now with like Gen Z and millennials like myself, we're leading that charge into this scary world. Is like, it's all about being real and relatable, and people want brands that feel honest and transparent and align with their own values. So if you're starting your own brand, make sure you know who you're talking to, and then focus on the following 3 steps. So I'll break it down using both my experience and giving you little flavors of like what works for the big guys, and relating it to those steps, so it's not just crazy ideas that I'm coming up with. Step number 1, define your unique identity. So you want to dig in to you, your business, and your product, and think about what sets you apart from the others. You don't need to get distracted, by the idea that you need to be 100% different from everybody else. We all just need a slice of that pie, not the whole pie. You can just think of, how we're all different. We're all unique. We're not all clones just yet. Since we're not all the same person, there's going to be something unique about your brand. What you need to do is look into yourself and find what that is. Not always easy. Like I said, I struggle creating a crafty Hinge or Bumble or Tinder profile. So it's like it's not always going to be easy, but that's okay. That's why we're here. So try these things and see if it works for you. This is kind of what helped me. So the first step would be identify your target audience. Who are you trying to reach? What are their needs and pain points? Number 2, into this is list your strengths. So what sets you apart from your competitors? What are your unique selling points? Maybe what do your customers love about your product or service? Or what will they love about your product or service, I guess you could say as well. So when you've done that, you can start connecting those things. How do your strengths address your target audience's needs and those pain points? What specific benefits do your customers derive from your product or service? And then create and craft, your unique value proposition. You want to create a statement that communicates the value you offer to your target audience. For example, we offer blank product that helps blank target audience solving blank problem by that unique benefit. So think about it. Craft that statement. This also could be like your elevator pitch that you can use when you're talking to others. A UVP, or unique value proposition, is something you can use with a brand, with yourself, as an elevator pitch. Like, there's a lot of things you can really do with it, and it's a key component in finding your identity for your brand. So, next, you want to take 2 or 3 elements that you define your brand's identity. This could be a logo, it could be your face, it could be colors, it could be that your voice or messaging. Just keep it simple. I got stuck on this for way too long, and I don't recommend it. Like, if you're great with this kind of stuff, fabulous. But pick something, run with it, and you can pivot later. Like, I got caught up in that. Nothing has to be perfect. Even time box yourself when you're doing these things. Maybe set an hour one morning. You're like, okay, I'm going to get my UVP done and pick 2 or 3 things that are going to be my brand. Perfect. Now that you have all that, slap it everywhere your brand is. Show the world. You want to put that on your LinkedIn, your website, your YouTube, wherever that might be. Think about how Nike empowers their audience with a swoosh and a slogan that says, just do it. It's easy. It's simple. I know they've probably taken a millennia coming up with things like that, but I'm just saying it doesn't have to be hard and complicated, and that's kind of what sometimes our brains tend to think we need to do. So if all the people out there remember me for my bald-headed logo, that I'm a product designer, I can die happy. It doesn't have to change the world, but a well-thought-out brand may change your world. Now that you know what makes you unique, it's time to create a story. It's about the who, what, and why. So a story doesn't need to be complicated or as long as a Harry Potter novel. Your brand story may be about how you're passionate about a specific subject or excel in a particular niche. My story was really simple, and I know I keep saying that, but I'm really just not trying to stress people out and making this complicated. So I wanted to show that you don't need to fit in a mold to be successful. You can be different. You can still connect with clients, and those clients value me for being, authentic. Maybe my baldness, I don't know. But believe it or not, you can be a great professional and still have a sense of humor. So now that you have your brand's identity, let's try this. So starting with that brand identity that we've done, you want to take your value proposition, and that'll really help you pinpoint the core values and characteristics that resonate with, your target audience. So, and the advantages that you provide. So for example, if you emphasize high quality, sustainable products, your brand personality could be seen as eco-conscious, reliable, things like that. Next, you want to dig into your target audience. And I'm always going to say this because I love research, and debatably I spend too much time in research, but it's my process. So you can always tweak it. The more you study your audience, though, the further you can get into, helping their specific needs, understanding those needs, the pain points, and those desires even further. And the more you do that, the better your brand's going to get. This is why people put so much money and effort into research in the first place. Parking research now, and understanding your audience even more so, you want to develop your brand narrative. So your brand story can be shaped by the interests and motivations of your audience. So for instance, if your audience, let's say, values affordable luxury, your values might be, you want to include something about quality, accessibility, elegance, things like that. And then with all of that, we want to create a compelling message. So you understand your target audience's values, and that'll help you customize your message to resonate more. And when you really understand that, and you can tie in, your audience values with your brand in creating that story, it's going to take you far. So for instance, if your audience is drawn to social proof, you could emphasize customer testimonials or reviews. When I go buy something on Amazon, I'm looking through reviews. I'm right now I'm looking at pillows because my sleep sucks. I'm getting lost in the sauce of reviews. So what I want to see though is those testimonials, things like that, things that are speaking to me because I have neck or shoulder pain. And whoever's selling these pillows obviously is developed a great narrative of, how they target people that are in pain or things like that, and how they handle that, and they have a message all around that. If you want to give another example, let's think of the same realm. Let's think of organic cotton sheets and things like that, like eco-conscious, we're green, we're certified, and this and that. There's a lot of things that are in that story and message. Maybe this person grew up with some sort of skin condition, so they can only have this type of sheets, and this is why they're passionate about it. Just stuff like that. The point is, create a story that people are going to connect with, that are using your service or your product. And also, I'm going to say this probably a million times, is stay authentic and relatable. So when you have an invincible brand story everywhere for the world to see, it's going to resonate with the brand and your audience in harmony. So a good example of this is, think about Tesla from good old Elon Musk. Putting aside the conspiracy theories out there of his world domination and blah, 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 let's focus on Tesla's brand. So their story, Tesla's story, isn't just about cars. It's about changing the world. It's about, changing the world in a way for a new future with green energy and so on and so forth. And that makes their brand powerful and relatable. And that's the type of impact that shakes an entire sector. Look how much they've blown up in the last few years. Whether you hate them or love them, it doesn't matter. That's still good publicity for them. So more power to them. It's cool to watch. Okay, step number 3, deliver consistent value. Possibly the most essential step of your brand, or part of your brand, is the impact you're going to make. So perfecting your brand may take some experimenting. Perfection isn't created overnight. But you have to make this promise to yourself to stay consistent with the value that your brand provides. So as a product designer, I do my best to provide value for my brand. I share design tips, or my journey, or honest insights, or I just try my best to deliver on what the client wants. It could be as simple as that. To be completely transparent, I'm still perfecting what that value is and who I want to provide it to, and that's okay. We're not always going to be the master at everything. And the sooner you realize that and have an open mind and are willing to learn, the farther you're going to get. One thing I love about design, and then talking to other designers, is while someone may rag on your idea and you may not like it, you're always going to be gathering thoughts and growing and building, and it's really constructive, and I love that. So back to the consistent value. So you have this unique identity, you've perfectly mapped out a compelling story, of course, and you're ready to drive it home. So let's talk about the final step, and you want to identify how you can add value to your audience. So that's going to be through content, services, a product. Think about these things. Maybe this will help you kind of craft what you're going to be delivering, and then you can nail down how that's going to be consistent using those first two steps. So content. This could be educational posts. It could be creating guides. It could be sharing case studies. It's anything that helps tackle common challenges and highlights your expertise in a way that people are going to be like, okay, I resonate with that. Let's hire this guy. It could be a service. It could be, you offer consultations. I personally just paid someone, like $150 for a consultation. But why is because exactly, like I read their profile and I was like, this is exactly what I need. Like just reading that, and they just were really clear about what their offering was, and they knew the type of clients that they wanted. So that worked. So you could build out a webinar, you could do those consultations, focus on key topics or specific problems. Maybe you're selling products. It could be digital products like templates, courses. You could be selling a physical product on Amazon, or subscription service. It needs to just make sure that you're addressing those problems and solving them for your audience. It could be, I met a guy that made tons of money just selling kitchen utensils on Amazon years ago, and I was like, why didn't I think of that? Good question. Didn't happen for me, but it may be happening for you, and if you're passionate about that, go for it. Be consistent. The only reason that I've gotten this far is it's the timing of things, and it's just being consistent. Keep going, and just know what you're focused on, and that really helps a lot. So let's say maybe you already know what you will do or something that you're going to offer, and you don't need any help deciding what you're offering. So I only ask one thing, and that's you self-assess, you nail down your strengths, your skills, your experience, and make sure that the value you're offering hits its target. I know I'm going to say this again, but like researching on that audience and knowing your audience and making sure it's always hitting its target is going to be essential. Whether you're doing that once a year, once a quarter, every couple years, it doesn't matter. Just make sure you're doing it. So once you have all that down, always validate with your audience through engagement, pilot programs, metrics, and consistently deliver value through your chosen mediums. I've said consistency probably a million times at this point, so I won't say it again, but that is really important. And that could mean pushing out the best product or insightful content, but it also really means be consistent with your messaging, your visuals, your interactions. Make sure that from who you're the same person of like when you woke up to when you go to bed, right? And that is essential with a brand. If Starbucks or McDonald's can deliver the same quality and experience and be consistent whether you're in New York City or Tokyo, you can too. Yeah, they may have different things on the menu. Okay, you may call me on the comments. That's cool. But the point is if some big corporation can do this, you can do it too. That's all I'm here to say, and hopefully boost up your confidence, because I know everybody needs that sometimes. Wrapping up this lovely slice of, information, value, whatever you want to call it, this video, remember, a brand isn't just a logo or a catchy slogan. It's about authenticity, sharing your story, and here we go, consistently delivering value. I'm going to say this again because I thought it was really cool and catchy, and so here we go. Your brand doesn't have to change the world, but a well thought out brand may change your world. I know, it sounds cool. So, if I can turn something as simple as being a giant bald guy into a brand, so can you. Just start small and be consistent. I kind of am curious, like what makes your brand unique? I'd like to hear you guys talk about that in the comments. I'm always curious to learn more. And let me know if you want me to discuss anything further that we talked about today. Maybe I'm confusing the way I mumble or jabber on. But yeah, let me know. That's how we get better. So feedback is good. Feedback is good. So thanks for being here. Don't forget to hit subscribe, of course, for more tasty treats like this. Thanks for watching.